we are currently here with Mr. Adam and Mr. Steven, and we're inside the Back to the Future room of the Tribute Store. It is absolutely amazing. Guys, can you tell me, well first, I heard that you guys are big fans of Back to the Future. Love that because I love Back to the Future myself.
I gotta represent the merch.
Yes, can you tell me a couple of the Easter eggs here in the store that people would not realize?
I mean, it's packed full of them. I mean, there's tons of them, and they're just hidden all around. I mean,
Everything was with a purpose.
yeah, everything's got a purpose, and if you just come in, you spend a good 20 minutes, you can find most of them. I mean, we've got ones that are just right out in the open, and then there's some just kind of speckled in and buried.
There's manual for the speaker here, things like that you wouldn't expect. There might be other things floating around on the desks and everything else. It's kind of like a weird scavenger hunt just to find all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the films,
You'll love it in here, yeah.
pass out kind of thing.
Yeah.
So right behind us, we have this nice model from Back to the Future. One, I want to know if it's for sale, because one, I would love to buy this. I will have no room in my apartment, but I definitely want this. Two, how long did it take to make this? Did you guys make it?
Well, it was an off and on process, waiting for pieces and parts and having to build and just waiting for boxes and everything. But it took a while. It took the entire build time for the entire store. So
That's crazy. So I know of I forget the exact name. I think it's the Motomatic, the machines here. Do you guys work with them to get any custom loads made for the stores every year?
yeah, our shop lead, or not our shop lead, the project lead for this particular store, the Summer Tribute Store, we all as a team kind of sit down and we throw out ideas, what would work, and then we take some of those ideas to the person that creates the molds and everything, and he'll let us know if it's possible with undercuts and everything, and then we tweak it and we get it to where we want it. That's where we get.
So nice. Well, thank you guys so much for having me, having this nice chat with me.
Yeah,
make sure you guys
to the store.
come. Yes, check out the Tribute Store. Definitely come look at this nice model. Like, it is absolutely beautiful. I wish I could buy it, but it's probably worth millions. Thank you guys so much. We're currently here inside the Jaws area of the Tribute Store, and we're here with Mr. Phil. Mr. Phil, he was the lead on this Tribute Store this year. He said that they kind of trade out the Tribute Stores. They have 5 people on their team for visual merchandise, and they kind of trade out every Tribute Store. And who's going to take the lead? And this season was Mr. Phil. Mr. Phil, can you, before we get started with those questions, can you tell us what your favorite thing in the Tribute Store is? It doesn't have to be one thing, but what is your favorite thing?
Favorite thing here right now?
Yes.
It would probably be the Panther statues in the Back to the Future room.
Yes.
Did anybody tell you about those?
Yes, let me
cool.
tell you, so as soon as I walked into the Tribute Store, that was the first thing I took a picture of. My eyes darted right to that. First I smelled the popcorn, but then my eyes darted straight towards that.
Yep, those are pretty cool.
Okay, so like I said, we have a couple questions. My first question for you is, so Universal has so many movies coming out this year, like Firestarter, Minions, and Jurassic World. Why did you guys decide to go the retro option this year for the Tribute Store?
We went the retro option simply because why not? I mean, they're the best movies ever made. I mean, Jaws is an absolute classic. E.T. is an absolute classic. Back to the Future is an absolute classic. And what better way to get a home run than to take these and turn them into tribute stores? We had a great store last year for summer. We did Jurassic Park, and fans went bonkers over it. And we figured we'd take the next step and do a couple of movies instead of just one. And we went retro with it. So
absolutely. So back it was the summer-ish of 2020. You guys released some retro Universal, just straight Universal logo merchandise, and the fans went absolutely crazy. And let me tell you, I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, the Jaws book bag. People found that Jaws book bag, and literally that day, that book bag sold out. You could not find that book bag anywhere. Why do you think fans are so excited about the retro merchandise that comes to Universal?
You know, it's just a connection to the past, honestly. You know, for me, I'm also a huge fan of the retro merchandise. I don't know what it is. I love the old logo. You know, I grew up coming here as a kid, and you know, it just brings back great memories. And you know, at this point, I'm glad to be part of it.
So this is definitely a self-loathing question for me. We have rides like Back to the Future and Jaws that were previously here in the park. With the Summer Tribute store being a retro store that featured, you know, rides like Back to the Future and Jaws, do you think maybe there could be some, you know, clamoring over at the park that's being built down the street? Do you think some of that stuff may somehow pop up there?
Honestly, I hope so. We've been working so hard on this store. I haven't even been able to hear or talk about anything outside of this store, just because of how in depth we've been going and putting all the Easter eggs in here, and you know, just making sure that every single detail is nailed down so that guests can just go absolutely crazy when they come in here.
Nice. So I have two more questions. The next one is, what inspired you guys to, well, you guys work with the culinary department. What was your involvement with the treats that are, you know, currently in that last room of the tribute store?
Actually, that's the treats that are in the tribute store right now is actually through our buying department. And they go through and they make an assortment of different treats and stuff like that. They start off with ideas, you know, things that they want to do, and then they'll pretty much have samples and stuff like that. And they put a deck together and they go through the approval process. And once everybody, you know, likes it and wants it, then we bring it in and put it on display. So that's pretty much the work of our buying team. I can't take credit for any of that. I can say I can take credit for eating a bunch of it. It's freaking delicious.
What is your favorite treat in that store? Or, well, in that store, in that showcase for the store?
My favorite treat over there, I would have to say, is probably the E.T. in the basket.
Yeah, I looked at that. It looks delicious, but it is like, you don't want to eat it. It is so pretty. You don't want to eat it. Okay, last question, I promise. What other retro properties did you guys think of when you were doing like your conceptual drawings?
Not gonna lie, we didn't.
Wow.
We didn't. We landed. So, what retro properties could we have used other than this? You know, we pretty much landed right on E.T., Jaws, and Back to the Future.
Gotcha.
And then, you know, we wanted a room to tie it all together, and we landed on a concession stand for the fourth room movie theater. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for.
Of course, anytime. Thank you guys both for coming out.
Yes, it was great. Thank you so much.
Of course.
We'll see you guys hopefully next year. And we'll see you guys hopefully in the fall for the HHN tribute store.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
see
you.
you.
Juan,